Hey, what's going on, folks? What is up? Hey, I'm so happy we've been able to grow the channel and more people are tuning in and checking out what's going on. It's really great to have a lot of people come on board from the Reddit community who are interested in discussing original poetry and the poetry of their peers. But I also want to let you guys know how important it is not to slack off and be lazy and to aspire, to reach out and to be hungry. You can't grow unless you eat, and it's important to consume great literature. It's important to want to struggle with the greatest available. And Bill the Bard gives us an example, gives us a way to get better quickly. So don't click away, okay? Don't be like, this is going to be boring. It's talking about Shakespeare. I don't get Shakespeare. It's another dead white guy. Well, okay. But don't prejudge. Try to be open. Try to be radically open to possibility. That's how you're going to grow, by reading more widely. This is a great example of how little misunderstandings in your readings can actually be great opportunities for you to grow and develop as a poet. This is Sonnet 87. Farewell. Thou art too dear for my possessing, and like enough thou knowest thy estimate. The charter of thy worth gives thee releasing. My bonds in thee are all determinate. For how do I hold thee but by thy granting, and for that riches where is my deserving? The cause of this fair gift is in me wanting, and so my patient back again is swerving. Thyself thou gavest thy own worth then not knowing, or me to whom thou gavest it, else mistaking. So thy great gift upon misprison growing comes home again on better judgment making. Thus have I had thee as a dream doth flatter, in sleep a king, but waking no such matter. Gosh, isn't that just a great parable, too, about creativity? You sit down to write a new draft of a poem and you're in love with it and you're like, this fucking thing's going to change the fucking world. And then you sleep on it, you read it again the next day and you're like, gosh, this is garbage. What was I thinking? Ugh. And maybe then, you reevaluate again and you swerve back and forth, just as this poem does. This poem is interesting. Harold Bloom singled this guy out as a way for us to understand how one poet can influence another throughout kind of literary history, through these kinds of readings of other people and this kind of projection and misunderstanding that occurs. Let's look at some of these things. What can we learn from this technique? Well, first and foremost, there's a lot of these feminine endings, which I think give this poem this kind of playful, teasing tone or register. The possessing, releasing, granting, wanting, deserving, swerving. It's very playful. And the feminine ending is an extra syllable at the end, which is unstressed. So he's forced to make these more difficult rhymes with more than one syllable rhyming, which is obviously more challenging. And it has to have the unstressed syllable at the end. So it's a challenge he set up for himself, but he executes it with such virtuosity points. I think a lot of people probably at the time, this is just conjecture on my part, receive this as like, oh my gosh, this guy just makes these sonnets look so effortless. He's just he's so skilled. He might feel like he had the wrong end of this love affair, but he kind of gets the last laugh just because it's so dazzling, right? So what else could we learn from this poem? What else could we do when we're thinking about our own art that Shakespeare is giving us a template here? Now, we've talked about this in some other sonnets, but look at this language that he uses. Estimate, worth, charter, riches, too dear for my possessing. All these words are kind of business words, contractual language, more akin to two parties coming up with a legal or business entity, business proposal, rather than two entities discussing love. So why is he using these terms in this way? Why is he discussing things in terms of appropriating these language of commerce and importing it into the language of love? Why? Well, for one, there's this kind of coldness to it. It allows the speaker of this poem to get some perspective, a distance from these raw, difficult feelings of feeling spurned, and be able to label them in a way that is a little bit biting. It's a little bit self parody as well, where the speaker is able to a certain extent punish himself in this way that is kind of humorous and overstated. I mean, no money has really been changing hands, but the poet is speaking of these things in terms of these great worldly fortunes. So it's kind of funny that way. Is a rich person better because they're rich? I mean, if you win the lottery, you're now a more important and better person than someone who hasn't. But love feels like that with these reversals, where if someone cares for you or you have their affection, then suddenly you feel amazing. You feel like, we say, I feel like $1 million, So he understood that, and the poem does swerve. It swerves back and forth, and these feminine endings really underscore and reinforce how the perspective of this speaker seems to waffle and cut. So those are just a few things we could pick out here, and I don't want to belabor this poem or belabor this too much, but I want you guys to be able to look and focus in on some things that a poet does that's special. If I were to say, after the volta here, we have this misprison. This is kind of this key word of this poem. Misprison is kind of a misunderstanding. Is when you see something or see in someone something that they never intended. In Shakespeare's plays, in his comedies, misprison could end up being comedic effect, where someone is dressed up to deceive someone, but they deceive the wrong person. But in tragedies, misprison could be fatal. It could be a very serious thing, where a small misunderstanding could lead to very serious and deadly outcomes. So this word here, this misprison, also tells us about when we read works of others. These misunderstandings that we have are these huge creative opportunities for us. They're this opportunity for us to grow and develop as writers, and write into things our misunderstandings. So if we don't completely get a poem and we don't really completely grasp what the intention of William Shakespeare is, it doesn't matter. It's still an opportunity for us to take what we want and what we need out of his work, to extract some of those things by putting ourselves into it. When you put yourself into the world, when you put yourself out there, good things can happen. That's also what this poem is saying. Now, it's funny, this ending, and sleep a king, but waking no such matter. It is funny. But I do think the speaker probably learned some things from this experience, learned some of these ideas, and if you can become a king of your own imagination, however briefly, maybe that's not such a bad thing. Maybe it will be painful when you come down from your inspiration. It will hurt, but that's something you have to go through. You have to put yourself through that. There's no way to cheat it. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'm glad I could share just a tiny, tiny little bit of this gem. And please let me know, if this just isn't working for you guys and you want me to do something else, let me know. But I do get requests. People say, I want to hear another sonnet. And I look at the views, and it seems like a lot of folks are not tuning in. So let me know why that is. Let me know what I could do better. And let me know what sonnets you would like to cover. But be open. Take the journey. Be a traveler. Don't work small. let's grow together. Thank you, folks.